Ezra, welcome back to Langmitra. I have to say, today is one of my favorite lessons to teach because this is where everything clicks.
Oh, I'm excited. Last time we learned the 9 basic consonants, and I've been practicing them. But honestly, I still feel like I'm just looking at random shapes.
That's about to change completely. Today, we're going to stack those consonants and vowels together into syllable blocks. After this lesson, you'll actually be reading Korean words.
Wait, so Korean doesn't just go in a line like English, like APPLE?
Exactly. That's what makes Korean so unique. Instead of writing letters in a horizontal row, Korean stacks them into little square blocks. Each block represents one syllable. Think of it like building with Legos. You're stacking pieces together in a specific pattern.
Okay, so each block is one syllable. How do I know what goes where?
Great question. Every syllable block has up to 3 positions. In Korean, we call them chosong, jungsong, and chongsong. But let's use plain English. Initial, medial, and final. The initial position is always a consonant. The medial is always a vowel. And the final position, if there is one, is another consonant.
So it's like consonant, vowel, and then maybe another consonant.
Exactly. The simplest blocks are CV, consonant plus vowel, like ga, which is the consonant g plus the vowel a. Say it with me, ga.
Ga. Oh, that's the first thing we made last lesson.
Right. Now here's the key architectural rule. Remember how we learned vertical vowels like a and horizontal vowels like o and u?
Yeah, the vertical ones have their little lines sticking out to the side, and the horizontal ones have lines going up or down.
Perfect. Here's the rule. Vertical vowels go to the right of the consonant. Horizontal vowels go underneath the consonant.
Oh, so the vowel shape tells me where to put it.
Exactly. Let's practice. Take n, the N sound, and add the vertical vowel a. Where does the vowel go?
To the right. So it's n on the left, a on the right. That makes na.
Beautiful. Na means I or me in Korean. You just read your first real word.
No way. Na means me? That's so cool.
Now let's try a horizontal vowel. Take n again, but this time add u, the oo sound. Where does it go?
Horizontal vowel goes underneath. So n on top, oo on the bottom. That's new.
Perfect pronunciation. Nu. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Let's add a final consonant, what Koreans call batchim or batchim. This consonant sits at the very bottom of the block.
So we're adding a basement to our Lego tower.
I love that analogy. Yes, exactly. Let's take na and add at the bottom. Now we have nam.
Nam, like in names?
Exactly. Nam means south or man, depending on context. It's in lots of Korean names. See how the just tucks right underneath?
So with a vertical vowel, the final consonant goes under both the initial consonant and the vowel?
You've got it. The block stays square and balanced. Now let's try with a horizontal vowel. Take mu. That's on top, u underneath. Now add n as the final consonant.
So the n goes at the very bottom under the u?
Exactly. That gives us moon, which means door or gate.
Moon, I've heard that in Korean dramas.
Let's practice reading some real words now. I'll show you and you decode them block by block. Ready? Here's your first word, 사람.
Okay, let me break it down. First block, s plus a to the right, that's sa. Second block, r plus a to the right plus m at the bottom, ram, saram.
Brilliant! 사람 means person or human. You just read a 2-syllable Korean word.
This is amazing. What else?
Try this one, Hanguk.
First block, h plus a, ha. Then there's n at the bottom, han. Second block, g plus u underneath, then g at the bottom, guk, hanguk.
That's Korea. Hanguk literally means Han Nation. You're reading Korean.
I can't believe it. Those blocks that looked like random squares actually make sense now.
Let's do a few more for practice. 가방.
Ka is ga, bang is b plus a plus ng at the bottom. Bang, kabang.
Perfect. That means bag. How about 음식?
First block starts with ng. That's the silent placeholder, right? So ng plus u underneath plus m at the bottom. Then s plus e plus g. Chic. Umshik.
Excellent. Umshik means food. You're doing incredibly well.
Can I try writing my name now? That was one of our goals.
Absolutely. So Ezra, let's break it down by sound. Ez would be e, using as the silent initial plus the vowel e. Then ra would be ra, r plus a. So your name in Korean is Ezra, or simplified as Era.
Era, that's my name in Korean.
How does it feel to see your name in Hangul?
Honestly, it feels like I just unlocked a secret code, like I'm part of something now.
That's exactly what King Sejong wanted, for everyone to feel included in literacy. Now, quick review. What's the rule for vertical vowels?
They go to the right of the initial consonant.
And horizontal vowels?
They go underneath.
And where does the final consonant, the batchim, always go?
At the very bottom of the block, like a foundation.
Perfect. You've just mastered the architecture of Hangul. Every Korean word you'll ever read follows these exact patterns.
I feel like I could actually pick up a Korean menu now and at least sound things out.
You absolutely could. And that's the beauty of Hangul. It's completely phonetic. If you can see it, you can read it.
This has been incredible. I went from seeing squiggles to actually reading Korean words in one lesson.
That's the Langmitra way, building real skills step by step. Imagine practicing these blocks with a friend or family member. Teaching someone else is actually one of the best ways to lock in what you've learned.
I'm definitely going to write my family's names in Hangul tonight.
That's the spirit. Next time, we'll learn about double consonants and complex vowels, sounds that add even more expression to Korean. But for now, celebrate this milestone. You're officially reading Korean.
감사합니다, Danny.
Oh, you just used a word with multiple syllable blocks perfectly. 감사합니다. Thank you. You're already on your way. Keep practicing with Langmitra, and we'll see you in the next lesson.
Before we recap, one quick ask. What worked for you in this lesson? What felt hard? And what topic should we teach next? Drop it in the comments. Your feedback shapes what we build next.
One language sets you in a corridor for life. Learn language with podcast. Subscribe.